Imagine your car without a device that helps reduce exhaust emissions and monitors how well the fuel is burning. Sounds worrisome, right? That's the role oxygen sensors play in your vehicle. In the heart of your car's exhaust system lies an innovative device known as the oxygen sensor. This tiny component punches well above its weight, playing a crucial part in the performance and efficiency of your vehicle. But what exactly is an oxygen sensor and why is it so important? An oxygen sensor is a small device that lives within your car's exhaust system. Its mission is to monitor the amount of unburned oxygen in the exhaust gases. It then sends this information to the engine control unit or ECU, which adjusts the air-fuel mixture for optimal combustion. So why are these sensors so vital? Well, they're the key to a healthy air-fuel mixture. With their help, your car can achieve better performance, lower emissions, and improve fuel economy. All these benefits come from the ECU's ability to adjust the air-fuel ratio based on the data provided by the oxygen sensor. But that's not all. The oxygen sensor also plays a crucial role in monitoring the efficiency of your car's catalytic converter. The health of your vehicle's catalytic converter is heavily dependent on the condition of the oxygen sensors. Now, you may be thinking, all this sounds great, but what happens when these sensors go bad? When oxygen sensors fail, they can cause a host of issues, including poor fuel economy, rough idle, and even failed emissions tests. But don't worry, we'll delve into the symptoms of bad oxygen sensors in our next section. So to sum up, these tiny oxygen sensors are mighty components in your exhaust system. They ensure that your car runs smoothly and efficiently, reducing emissions and improving fuel economy. And crucially, they help keep your car's catalytic converter in check, ensuring that it's working as it should. So we see that these tiny components, oxygen sensors, have a mighty role in your vehicle's performance. Now that we understand the importance of oxygen sensors, let's delve into the signs that your car's oxygen sensor might be going bad. Our first symptom on the list is the check engine light. This little warning light on your dashboard can illuminate for a variety of reasons, and one of the most common culprits is a faulty oxygen sensor. While this light is a clear indicator of a problem, it doesn't specify what that problem is, so further investigation is needed. Next, we have poor fuel economy. If you find yourself constantly at the gas station, your oxygen sensor could be to blame. When it's not functioning properly, the air-fuel mixture in your engine may be off, causing your vehicle to burn more fuel than necessary. It's like trying to keep a campfire burning bright with too much or too little wood. The balance has to be just right. Rough idle and engine performance issues are also common symptoms. You might notice your car shaking or vibrating while it's running, or perhaps it hesitates when you try to accelerate. This is your engine struggling with an improper air-fuel mixture, potentially due to a bad oxygen sensor. For those of you with diesel engines, black smoke from your exhaust is a telltale sign. This smoke is usually an indication of a rich air-fuel mixture, meaning there's too much fuel and not enough air. It's like trying to light a fire with a heap of wood, but not enough oxygen. You'll get lots of smoke, but not much flame. Finally, a failed emissions test could also be a sign of a bad oxygen sensor. Since these sensors play a crucial role in controlling your car's emissions, a faulty one can lead to higher levels of pollutants being released from your exhaust. Remember, these symptoms could also signify other problems in your car, so proper diagnosis is crucial. It's like being a detective. You have to gather all the clues before you can solve the mystery. So keep your eyes and ears open for these signs, and you'll be well on your way to keeping your car running smoothly and efficiently. Observing symptoms is one thing, but how do we confirm if the oxygen sensor is indeed the culprit? Let's talk about diagnosis. Diagnosing a bad oxygen sensor might seem like a daunting task, but with the right tools and a bit of knowledge, it can be quite straightforward. Let's explore the methods you can use to diagnose a bad oxygen sensor. First, you can scan for fault codes using an OBD2I scanner. This is perhaps the easiest method. Specific codes ranging from P010130 to P0167 indicate issues with the oxygen sensor. However, it's worth noting that not all faulty sensors will trigger a code, so it's not a foolproof method. Next, we have live data monitoring, an approach that involves a bit more technical know-how. If your OBD2 scanner supports live data, you can monitor the oxygen sensor's voltage output. A healthy sensor's voltage should fluctuate consistently. If the voltage is inconsistent or the response is sluggish, this could indicate a problem with the sensor. Finally, if you're not comfortable with DIY diagnostics, or if the previous methods don't provide a solid answer, your best bet might be a professional diagnosis. A skilled mechanic can use specialized tools and their extensive knowledge to provide a more accurate diagnosis. The key thing to remember here is that while these symptoms can suggest a bad oxygen sensor, they can also be caused by other problems in the fuel and air intake system. That's why it's crucial to diagnose the root cause of the issue. It's not just about identifying symptoms, it's about pinpointing the source of the problem. Whether you're using an OBD2 scanner at home or taking your car to a professional, diagnosing the issue correctly is the first step towards resolving it. Once you know for certain that the oxygen sensor is the issue, you can move on to the next step, figuring out the repair costs and deciding whether to tackle the job yourself or leave it to the professionals. A correct diagnosis, whether DIY or professional, is the first step towards resolving the issue. Once you've diagnosed a bad oxygen sensor, what comes next? That's right, repair. But what might that cost? Let's dive into the nitty-gritty of repair costs for a bad oxygen sensor. Firstly, you've got the cost of the sensor itself. Oxygen sensors are not the most expensive parts, but they're not exactly cheap either. They can range anywhere from $80 to $150 depending on the make and model of your vehicle. Original equipment manufacturer or OEM parts tend to cost more, especially for newer vehicles. Then you have to consider labor costs. Replacing an oxygen sensor might seem like a simple task, but it can get tricky due to factors like heat and corrosion. Depending on where you live and the complexity of the task, a mechanic might charge anywhere between $50 and $100 for their labor. So when you add up the cost of the sensor and the labor, you could be looking at a bill ranging from $130 to $250. But what if you're a hands-on type of person? Well, there's a do-it-yourself option. With a bit of mechanical knowledge and an oxygen sensor socket, which costs around $10, you can replace the sensor yourself. Remember though, that this is a task that requires precision and patience. If you're not comfortable or confident doing it yourself, it's always best to hire a professional. So there you have it. The cost of repairing a bad oxygen sensor can vary widely, depending on several factors. But regardless of the route you choose, remember that replacing a bad oxygen sensor is an investment. Not only will it improve your car's performance, but it will also help you save money in the long run by improving fuel efficiency and reducing the risk of more expensive engine damage. Whether you choose to hire a mechanic or take the DIY route, repairing or replacing a bad oxygen sensor is an investment in your car's performance. We have covered quite a bit today about oxygen sensors in your car. These tiny yet mighty components in your exhaust system play a crucial role in reducing exhaust emissions and ensuring your vehicle runs smoothly and efficiently. They monitor the amount of unburned oxygen in the exhaust gases and send this information to the engine control unit, which adjusts the air-fuel mixture for optimal combustion. A healthy air-fuel mixture translates to better performance, lower emissions, and improved fuel economy. We've also learned about the symptoms of a bad oxygen sensor. The check engine light coming on, poor fuel economy, rough idle, and decreased engine performance can all be indications of a faulty sensor. In diesel engines, black smoke from the exhaust could be a sign, and failing an emissions test is another potential red flag. Remember, it's important to diagnose the root cause of these symptoms, as they can also be caused by other problems in the fuel and air intake system. We've discussed several methods to diagnose a bad oxygen sensor, including scanning fault codes with the OBD2 scanner, live data monitoring, and seeking a professional diagnosis if you're unsure or uncomfortable with DIY methods. Finally, we've talked about the costs associated with repairing a bad oxygen sensor. The sensor itself typically ranges from $80 to $150, with labor costs adding another $50 to $100. If you're mechanically inclined and have the right tools, you could even replace the sensor yourself, saving on labor costs. In conclusion, the oxygen sensor is a small but vital part of your vehicle's exhaust system. Neglecting it can lead to a host of problems, from decreased performance and fuel economy to increased emissions. Maintaining your car's oxygen sensors is not just about keeping your car running smoothly, it's also about ensuring lower emissions and improved fuel economy. Remember, your car's performance is as good as its components.